Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have created a daytime glam look. This look is particularly good for somebody who's going to be a guest at a wedding or any daytime event where they want to look glam but they don't want to look too heavy. If you like this look and you want to learn, please keep watching. To start off with, I'm going to go in with the Olay Double Action Day Cream and Primer, and not forgetting to use sunscreen on top for extra protection. The foundation I'm using today is Makeup Forever HD Foundation in the shade N153. I'm going to apply this using the Sigma F82 round kabuki brush. I love this brush because you can really buff the foundation into your skin and create a really nice thin and sheer layer of foundation. Now that the base is finished, I'm going to go in with MAC Pro Longwear Concealers in NW35 and NC42. Now don't be afraid to mix your concealers. These two shades are great for a wide variety of medium toned skin people because it brightens up the under eye areas and it colour corrects it, so it makes you look more awake for people who are not good in the mornings. I want to add a tiny bit more concealers in the areas where I'm slightly oily and I need a tiny bit more coverage. Then using a damp beauty blender, I want to go in and blend all these areas out. Now a beauty blender is like one of the very few things that I would really recommend you getting if you don't already have it. It basically thins out your concealer and it picks up any of the excess product, so in case you put too much on, you don't need to worry about it. It also gives you a really flawless finish to your makeup. I'm going to finish off in the final few areas before I move on to highlight. Here I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer, that's a mouthful, in Creamy Beige. And I'm going to use it straight from the tube because it has a really nice brush and it's just easy to apply with that. I'm going to apply this in the areas that I want to bring out more, so that would be the under eye, the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, the forehead, the upper lip and the chin area. And then I'm going to use another LA Girl concealer, but in the shade Beautiful Bronze, to apply to the areas which I want to put in more. So we start off with the hollows of the cheeks, going up to the forehead, very close to the highlight on the nose, and then on the jawline. Then I'm going back in again with the beauty blender and I'm going to start by blending in the highlighted areas on my face to create a really smooth finish. For the contour, I'm going to be using the MAC 130 brush, which is a bit more firmer than the beauty blender, and it allows me to basically push the product into the areas that I want the contour in. Also, I don't really want it looking too harsh, so it allows me to blend out the outside. In the end, you'll see that it basically creates more of a 3D kind of look rather than a really harshly contoured look. If you feel like you want to blend it out a tiny bit more, you can always go in with your foundation brush and just go over the edges of the contour. When it comes to the jawline, I basically want to rub off all of that contour because I want to create like a smooth shadow. I don't really want any harsh lines, especially for a daytime look. Now that I'm finished with the cream concealer, I'm going to go in and set all the areas with powder. So I'm going to start off with this soft focus shaping powder from MAC, using the beauty blender and just going in on my under eye areas. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be taking the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC35 and lightly dust that over my highlight zones. This will help your makeup stay all day, and if you're oily, it will stop you from looking shiny. Then using MAC Studio Fix powder in NC42 with a big fluffy powder brush, I'm going to apply this to the areas of my face with no powder. I had a little visitor pop by in the middle of my tutorial, but we're going to finish powdering the face before we move on to the next step. Now once I finish setting all the areas with powder, I'm going to go in with a Shape and Shadow Cool Toned Contour Powder from Pixie by Petra, and using the Sigma F25 brush, I just want to lightly dust this all over my contour zones. I felt like my jaw had disappeared, so I went back in with the NC35 from MAC and I just dusted that over slightly. I then went in with the Stila Stay All Day Bronzer in dark and I went over my contour zones to warm it up slightly so it didn't look so grey. Moving on to blush, I'm using the Makeup Forever Sculpting blush in, I think it's number 12 Matte Rosewood. I'm starting off at the outer apples of my cheek and blending upwards along my cheekbone. Then I went in with MAC's Well Dressed and applied that to the apples of my cheek. Then I'm taking the highlighting palette from TheBalm Cosmetics. I'm mixing Mary Luminizer and Betty Luminizer and I'm applying that to the high points of my cheek with a Makeup Forever brush number 108, I think it is. And then once I'm done with the cheeks, I'm going to lightly dust it over the bridge of my nose, above my eyebrows, on the upper lip and on my chin. And that's the face done. Woo! Moving on to the eyes. I want to get my eyebrows done out of the way first, so I'm going in with Anastasia's Dipbrow Pomade in Ebony. I use small stroking movements going from the arch of the brow down to the tail, and then I work my way towards the inner brow with what's left on my brush. The brush I'm using is the Anastasia Brow Brush. I think it's a number 12, the large brush, and I'm going back between the brush end to fill in the sparse areas and then the spoolie end to blend that out to make it more natural. If you felt like you applied too much to the outer area, you can always swipe across with your finger and just smooth that out to create a sharper tail. And finally, going in with MAC's Kid Eyeshadow to fill in any sparse areas around the front of the brow. Now for the eyes, I'm going to start by highlighting my brow bone using Makeup Geek's Mirage, and I'm going to blend that out with my finger. Then I'm using the same colour to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. Once that's done, I'm going to go back in with Kid from MAC and I'm going to use that in the crease of my eye. I'm using a MAC brush number 217 to apply a few layers of this into the crease just to create extra dimension, and then with the remaining product on the brush I'm just going to sweep it out to my temples. I'm going to do exactly the same using Frappe from Makeup Geek to add some warmth to the crease. Once that's done, I'm going to go in with Curfew from Makeup Geek and I'm going to apply that with the Sigma E45 brush onto the outer corners of my eyes and just blend that in slightly into a triangle shape. If you have small eyes and eyelids, this trick basically elongates and widens your eyes to make it look much bigger. Then I'm going back in with the blending brush. This is 224 from MAC, and I just want to blend out any harsh edges. Then using any pencil brush, I'm using the 219 from MAC. You just want to take that colour onto the lower lash line. And finally, I'm going to be using Cinderella from Makeup Geek with the MAC 239, I believe, and I'm going to apply this to my entire lid area. Now moving on to eyeliner, I'm using the Exaggerate from Rimmel London, and this is my favourite eyeliner. It's so affordable and it stays on all day. I'm starting by applying the liner to my upper waterline, which might look a bit awkward and feel a bit awkward, but what this does is it makes your lashes appear a lot thicker. Once I'm done with that, I want to draw a line as close as possible to the lashes. You can go as thin as you want or as thick as you want. It doesn't really have to be perfect, and I'll show you why in the next few steps. So here I'm going back and forth between the two eyes just to make sure that the thickness is the same on both sides. Once I'm happy with that, I'll just take it down slightly onto the lower lash line, just halfway. And then I'm going to go in with another Rimmel Exaggerate eyeliner, and this one is 212 Rich Brown, and I'm just going to piggyback that along the black liner and bring it slightly more towards the inner corner and blend the two colours together with my finger. If you want to smoke out the lower lash line further, you can go in with any small pencil brush. I'm using the shade brush from EcoTools, and I'm just going to smoke it out until I'm happy. Then going in with MAC Espresso, using the same shade brush, I'm going to smoke out that upper lash line. Adding the brown to the black liner really softens the look and makes it much easier to wear, and this trick is really quick and really easy to do, especially when you're running short of time. And finally, going in with Noir from Anastasia Beverly Hills and using the MAC 263 to create a really soft wing. I love doing soft wings with shadow because it allows you to wear a wing, but it doesn't make the wing take over the whole look, if you know what I mean. It just looks really pretty and really delicate. Once that's done, I'm going to give my eyelashes a quick curl before moving on to mascara. The mascara I'm using today is another great product from Rimmel London. It's called Scandaleyes. I'm going to start at the roots and really massage this product into my lashes, and it gives almost like a false lash effect without looking so heavy. I'm just going to finish off by coating the lower lashes. And then I'm going to use Naked Lunch from MAC, and I'm going to highlight the inner corners of my eye. This will add like a little pop to those areas, and then I'm going to add the same shade to the brow bone. As I want this look to be as light as possible, I'm going to be using individual lashes. I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to each bundle of lash, and I'm going to start on the outer corner of the eye and work my way towards the inner third. The glue I'm using is from House of Lashes, and I believe it's latex free, so it's very easy and not so irritating to wear. If you're not used to wearing individual lashes, it does take a bit of time and practice to get used to putting them on, as with anything. But once you get the hang of it, you'll realise it's so quick and easy to do. So once I'm happy with the lashes, I just want to double check that there are no sparse areas. I felt like my face had oxidized a little bit, so I went back in with the Kat Von D palette and just used the yellow and orange colour on the under eye area. And then moving on to the lips, I'm using MAC Soar Lip Liner all over the lips, and I'm only very slightly overlining the lips because I want it to look slightly pouty, but I don't want it to look too much. And then I'm going to top that with Rodeo Dry from Gerard Cosmetics. And then using Laguna Beach from Ofra in the centre of the lips. And then finally going in with Cindy Luminizer from the Luminizing Highlight Palette and just patting that over the centre of my lips to give it that extra pout. Then you want to finish off by going over with the final touches. And here I am using Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner, and I'm just going over the glue that you might be able to see from the lashes. And then I felt like something else was missing, so I went in with another layer of Cinderella from the Makeup Geek, and I just wanted to create an extra pop on the eyelid. And that's the look completed. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you want to see more videos, then subscribe, like, comment and share, and I will see you soon.